This episode is brought to you by SmartVestor. Connect with an investing pro near you at RamseySolutions.com/SmartVestor.
Steve's in Green Bay. Hey, Steve, what's up?
Thanks for taking my call. I'm really excited to talk to you and Jade. So I have a very simple question. I'm 62, retired. My wife is 60, and she's going to work for 4 more years. I want to know how much we should be contributing to my Roth now, because my investors are telling me that I have a $500,000 in my investments, and I only have $150 in Roth, and the rest are 401k and IRA. And I don't want to create a tax liability for my kids or grandkids. I have 2 children and 4 grandkids, but I only have an effective tax rate last year of 10%. So I just thought I should be contributing more to Roth, and they said I'm good because of the way things are going to roll. And let's get your opinion on that.
Well, when I first started this stuff when the Roths first came out, it was after we started this stuff, the Roth came about. I was so excited that, I was in my 30s and 40s, that I could have tax-free growth. And I was pushing everybody to get tax-free growth, and I'm pushing me to get tax-free growth. And so I had everything in Roth. And then anytime I could convert something to Roth, I would. And so I was always moving into Roth because I was getting tax-free growth. Now that I'm 65, it suddenly has occurred to me that there's 2 other benefits to having everything in Roth that are even more powerful than tax-free growth, or add to. It's not more powerful, but they add to it. Mm-hmm. Number one, at 73, I don't have RMDs, required minimum distributions.
Right.
So all of your 401k traditional, you're going to have to begin to withdraw at 73 under the RMD rules.
Whether you want to or not.
Whether you want to or not. So, and of course, the more you have in traditional, the more that check is going to be. The second thing is, and in my case, all of mine's in Roth, so 100% of mine's just going to sit there and continue to grow tax-free because I don't have required minimum distributions, right? The second thing is that Joe Biden passed the Secure Act, and the Secure Act says that all inherited IRAs, in other words, if you name your kid as a beneficiary on your 401k or your IRA, and it's traditional, if they inherit that, they have to withdraw that money within 10 years. On a 10-year schedule. So they have required minimum distributions. So they're going to pay income tax on 100% of that, and they have to do it over a 10-year period of time from the time of your death. On Roth IRAs, none. Doesn't apply because there's no tax due.
And that's why this came up, because my father passed 5 years ago, just left $50,000, but I'm still taking that out over time.
Yeah. You're having to do the Biden withdrawals,
within 10 years.
Right. And I just don't want my grandkids or kids, because we live simple. We can live on $50,000 a year, have 0 debt, never had. And I just want to leave a legacy.
Well, here's an interesting calculation. It's tempting to move the money that you have in traditional gradually to Roth to keep you from having bracket creep.
Yeah.
That's a tempting thing. And you could run those numbers out. You're probably going to have to get a different investment group to help you with that, because apparently your guys don't think this way. But and if you want to get another opinion, you can go to Ramsey Solutions and check with one of our SmartVestors and have them run the numbers out with you. But you could run, like bump a couple of brackets, but not go all the way to 40, not go all the way to 39, right? That's one way of doing it, and do a little bit a year and kind of dribble it out. The other thing that's interesting, though, is you think about like the last 3 years, we had a 26, a 23% rate of return, and an 18% rate of return on the S&P. Now, that's not normal, but we've had a ridiculously good last 3 years, in the market. If you had just moved it all and paid the taxes 3 years ago, you'd have had all of that 60% of growth with no taxation.
Sounds like you're a proponent. I mean,
it's interesting. But if we have normal market growth of 10 or 12% a year, right? It takes you a little while to get it back. But if you're healthy and you're 62, and you move 700,000 or 800,000 over, and that creates taxation of what, $200,000, you're going to get that $200,000 back in tax-free growth so freaking fast.
Well, I was telling them at the very least I'd like to do is, while my wife is working and has earned income, I can do this for at least 3 or 4 more years.
I would do Roth IRAs for sure. Absolutely, for sure. 100%.
Good.
Anybody tells you to not continue to invest in Roth IRAs, it's only, $8,600 at your age, right? You can do.
I think you agree with everything Dave is saying. I think your hang up is that that's not what your that's not what your
That's right.
Your
I
guys
have actually
are saying.
two people telling me that. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. But I think you can crunch the numbers out and understand it yourself with somebody, and you'll figure out what I'm figuring out here. I took a call on this like a week ago. Maybe you and I were on the air together. It was a guy he had like $700,000 or $800,000, and I sat there and kind of was telling him, "Oh,
I remember.
Do it, kind of do it a little bit at a time, and don't get bracket creep." And then it suddenly at the end of the call, it occurred to me, you're missing out on all of that opportunity cost on that tax-free growth all those years. While you screw around with, dribbling it out to avoid bracket creep over 5 years, all that money now has been taxable. All that growth's taxable, and it wouldn't have been taxable. So, I mean, I think there's something to be said to doing it all and rip the Band-Aid off. Yeah, that's it. Mathematically, I think you might come out ahead. You got to run some numbers to be sure. I'm not positive, but it's something to consider and something to look at. And I would get a different set of eyes on it because anytime you have an investment professional in your life, their job is to teach you, not to tell you. And if they don't teach you, in other words, they start saying all that stuff, you go, okay, wait a minute, you're telling me I don't want to save in a tax-free account? Of course I want to save in a tax-free growth account. What do you, oh, no, yes. So, yeah, I do a Roth every year, and my net worth's hundreds of millions, okay? The building I'm sitting in is $600 million, okay? So I do Roth, backdoor Roth. Sharon and I do them every year. I'm going to keep the government's hands off of every stinking penny I can legally because I don't want them to buy a $22,000 toilet seat with my money. And that's what they do because they're idiots up there. And so I don't want to give them money. It's not good stewardship. Not if I don't have to legally. And so I'm going to it's the time of year when I'm pissed off right now. It's tax time. So just bear with me, people. But that's it. I mean, that's the thing.
Yep, absolutely.
So you got to, but the Roth IRA, moving everything to Roth, people.
That ain't bad.
Or over time.
That's the move.
It gives you two things I had not considered early on, and that's no RMDs and no inherited IRA forced withdrawals. And so your kids get a Roth IRA, zero income tax on it. Now, neither one have a state tax on them. That's not an estate tax issue, but it's an income tax issue for your kid because it's a taxable account that they inherited or an non-taxable account that they inherited. Something to think about. And think about what if they held, let's take $1 million and they hold that 7 years after you die because they don't have to withdraw it under the Biden rules.
Wow, it's going to double.
It's going to be another $1 million. The million will be $2 million.
That's right.
And then what if they hold it 14 years?
Ooh.
It's going to be $4 million.
Building that wealth.
And all of that is without taxes. Yummy, 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 honey.